starter motor right here. Two number 8mm bolts there. I think there's an O-ring back here, and you just kind of have to wiggle this shaft at the back to get it off. You may want to try prying a little. We shall see how it goes. Yep, and there she went. There's an O-ring. Can make it bind up pretty tight once you already have the one wire disconnected. 2 bolt tabs here. Starter motor shaft. You can spline it up either way, so if this turns, whatever, don't worry about it. Starter motor removed. I removed the peanut cover, starter motor, starter clutch cover, 5mm cap head screws, do them in a crisscross pattern. If you had to service your starter clutch motor because you're trying to start it and it'll catch and go bang, which happened to me before, I put on a different one. There isn't oil behind this. There's, I don't remember honestly if there's a gasket right now. I think there is a gasket, but it's not that crucial. So I'm saying you have no issues in taking this off if you ever need to take it off to service or replace anything. There's gears in there. The gears pretty much mesh one way. You might have to fiddle with them if you don't mark them good enough, but you'll see when you get in there. And the clutch assembly here comes off with a puller. Alright, I'm not going to remove the cover, just giving it a wiggle. Some of the gears do mount to the cover. They might come with it, they might fall off, they might stay behind, hard to say. Just slowly wiggle its way off. And then you will expose what's inside. There is a shaft in here. Spin this around. This shaft here, main bearing here, and then this shaft corresponds here, and then this one has to sink in with that one. Different length screws here, you want to keep them in the right spots. Remember that this is your idle adjustment knob mounting tab, so keep that there. And so keep this together. Try and remember where things went. Generally speaking on this motorcycle, I notice anything that has a dowel pin is a long bolt. On a cover, anything that's not a dowel pin is usually a short bolt, so that'll probably keep it straight in your head, or mark them if you feel like it. These little gears just pull off. So I'm going to take some photos just to recognize them, but you can kind of see how it would really only fit one way. This is the shaft from the starter motor that turns the whole assembly. This is the starter clutch. To remove the starter clutch, use like a standard puller. Take the center nut off, pull this. I'll get to that when I get to it. Right now I'm just going to mark this stuff and go from there. Alright, I'm going to cheat on this one. I use my electric impact wrench. It's Harbor Freight impact wrench, $40 on sale, 14mm impact socket. Truthfully, this doesn't put enough torque. You probably could be just fine using chrome sockets on it if you wanted to. Otherwise you might have to come up hold this or hold her on the other side, or you might get lucky and it might just break loose. Remember to do it before you take the motor out of the bike. There she went. I turned the crank over slightly, no big deal. You can move this all you want right now. Well, not all you want because there's only so much oil on it. Also, woodruff key on here so you can't put it back on or take it off incorrectly. And now I'm going to pull it off once I get set up with my puller. Make sure you're not damaging anything. Thinking I might have to reposition this. It's getting cockeyed on me. And it slipped. Sorry you missed the action, but it came off with a typical bang. Woodruff key came off flying a little bit too, but I found it, so got that. This is a starter clutch, and the starter clutch gear, you can separate these. It's just a one-way fancy kind of gearing system, so I'm going to bag these. And that's off now, and that part of the motor is clear. Make sure you don't lose your woodruff key, as they are small little half moons. You can get new ones, not too expensive, but best to keep around what you got. Now I'm going to